second thing that we found, though, and this is why field research is so important, is that there was this alternative model. And this alternative model is what we call a capability building model. And that is where you try to make improvements in the factories not by policing them in a private way, but actually by trying to develop the capabilities of the managers and the factories to run both efficient and ethical factories. In other words, when you go to these factories, you realize that many of the managers of these factories were people who were like really good workers in their home country, say Taiwan, and then they got promoted to be supervisors of a line and then maybe a factory manager, and then the Taiwanese company decided to open a plant in either Vietnam or Honduras or something like that, and they sent their good worker, supervisor, now local manager to these places, and they are just like good workers, but they've never been trained in operations management or personnel management or supply chain management or any of the basics. And so the way that they try to run their factory is by basically having people work extremely long hours and try to, basically shave off as much as they can around salary, because that's how they think that is the only way they can make profits, and especially given that brands are pushing them in a big way. But when you can actually train these managers to run more efficient and effective operations, you see their margins go up, and under certain conditions, and I'll explain those in a minute, those margins are translated into better wages and better working conditions. And by the way, this alternative model, capability building, is sometimes done by the same people doing the private auditing. They're doing it, but they're doing it kind of under the radar. They're like filling out the checkbox. It doesn't mean anything, but they're kind of helping these factories improve their conditions. We did a fair amount of work to show that this actually has tremendous amount of promise, and it doesn't cost more.